Good morning, AVID. So this morning you're going to be doing a few assignments while watching this video. Remember, after I give you the directions, just pause this video, follow the directions, do the assignment, and then go back to watching. So the first thing you're going to be doing is a reflection on GPA OneNote. So this GPA reflection is based on what we went over yesterday when I asked you just to kind of pull out your grades, just so you could see how you were doing in all of your classes. So the first thing you're going to need to do is get into OneNote. So remember, in order to do that, you need to go into ClassLink. You need to click Office 365. Once you have clicked Office 365 and it loads, you might have to re-sign in with your ID and password. But you're going to want to find your AVID section, section 1002, period 1. You then will click on the notebook. And so once your notebook is clicked on, and hopefully yours loads faster than mine. Let's see, maybe I clicked on the wrong one. Here it is. So once your OneNote shows up, you're going to go ahead and click your name. We're going to use Aaron's as an example. So we'll click your name, and then you'll go ahead and click Successful Learners. Once you have clicked on Successful Learners, you will then see the GPA goals setting. And so here is where you're going to be basically explaining yourself and your goals for your GPA and for the coming up school. So again, you're going to have to left click. With your left click, go ahead and put, your name, your date, grading period. The grading period for this one is quarter 1. Your GPA on your progress report, that is where you're going to be finding it in GPA grade report 1. And then GPA on your report card, you don't know that yet. You'll find out in a couple of weeks. When you're done with doing that part, then you're going to start explaining yourself. You're going to tell me your feelings about your grades. Please use complete sentences. You're going to tell me your achievements so far this year and maybe your disappointments, right? You've all had disappointments, whether it is keeping up in class, maybe not getting the grade you wanted, but just kind of tell me your disappointments. What do you acknowledge that you need to do better in? Then your GPA goal for the next 2 months. If you already have a 4.0, then maybe it's to keep your 4.0, right? Then the next part, I want 2 academic goals for the next 2 months. Maybe it has to do with studying. Maybe it has to do with time management, right? We do all of those time logs. Maybe it's, working on your homework. Maybe it's taking Cornell notes. Maybe it's just keeping your binder together. Please make sure you pick 2. So make sure you label it 1 and 2. And then your personal goals for the next 2 months to help achieve your GPA. This has to do with you yourself. Maybe you have some type of attitude issue. Maybe it's you want to spend more time with your family. Maybe it's a social issue. But go ahead and take about 10 minutes to fill this out. Pause it, pause the video, and then come back in a second when you're done. Okay, so hopefully you have finished the GPA goal setting. And so the next thing you're going to need to do is, in our Schoology, you're going to be taking Cornell notes on note making. And so note making, we've kind of already done. So note making is going to be in Cornell Notes. And then you'll click on note making. It's at the very bottom. Now, note making, when it shows, you will see that you have review and revise, and then the Cornell notes on the side. What I want you to do is I want you to pick out a few notes that you can rewrite in your own words and explain in here. on the right. Okay, and again, the essential question is, hopefully you find this so you can write down the essential question is, how do I take Cornell notes in class to use for academic purposes? So how do I take Cornell notes in class for academic purposes? Okay, and then you'll do on step 3, which is review and revise. And then the second one, which is what you want to pay attention to, is note key ideas. And note key ideas has to do with creating questions. And so make sure when you're explaining yourself with your creating questions that you are telling me why it is important to create questions and what the difference is between lower level questions and higher level questions. So again, you're taking notes on the right side while reading this. I'm not expecting a lot of notes, just some notes. Okay, again, this should take about 10 minutes. When you're done with this, you may pause the video and then replay the video when you're completely done. Okay, see you in a second. All right, so now you are on to the last section, which is the levels of thinking. And so when you looked at your calendar, you hopefully noticed that you have practice questions. And so this is the levels of thinking. When you click on practice questions, you will view the item. And basically, it is asking you that based on the picture, which is right here, create 3 questions from Costa's level of thinking. You guys have your notes, right? You guys have your flip books. So take out your flip books and use those to create questions. There should be 3 questions from each level. Remember, you should submit an assignment and then create the section on the submission part to answer the question. So again, mine doesn't have this, but yours does. Remember, you're submitting an assignment and then you're going to click create. So basically, you're going to look at this picture and you're going to pick 3 different levels of questions to ask based on this image. Okay, and that's all I want. I just want the questions. I don't need an answer. Okay, if you have any questions whatsoever, remember you can always email me through Schoology and I will come by as fast as I can. Just remember, this is all I'm requiring you of today. Your homework today for this class is basically be ready for a binder check tomorrow, because tutors are going to be looking at your binders and you want to make sure that your binders and your planners are up to date, as they will be checking it and it will be going in the grade book. All right, so have a great day, and remember that you're going to be watching a video next as well for Amplify.